Hello, boys and girls. Good morning. This is Jackie coming to you live from Philadelphia with a short message about communication. And this is about not communications to others, but communication within ourselves. So, laying the grounds of communication is basically where I'm taking you. Um, this is about self-care. Part of the self-care routine is having a good dialogue with yourself and speaking to yourself and talking to yourself, keeping that dialogue going and guiding yourself. And part of that, I'm usually all over the place, but there is a unifying theme. Um, I started thinking about. I've been tracking my menstrual cycle for about two years now on an app, and it's been extremely helpful, and it helps me understand my fluctuations, my appetite fluctuation, my mood, and it's just been really helpful to know what day it's usually it's the 11th day when I start getting PMS. And the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure everybody's different, but for my body, it's the 11th day to the 5th day. Then everything goes away. And then you just patiently wait for the cycle to come. And at the 11th day, yeah, there came a point where I started telling my kids, uh, it's day 11. I was moody and I checked my app. It's like, oh, that's what it is. Day 10, day 11. It's always that. Um, so I am, because of the app, I've been able to take advantage of knowing that, hey, I'm very blessed to be able to track, because some bodies don't work very well with tracking. And with a personality that have a rebel here that's really not into tracking and into being accountable in that way and just wanting to be free and be me. And then the other half of me is like extremely OCD and wants to keep everything in order. So this has been very interesting. And I have to say, overall, tracking has been a blessing. It helps me. It helps. And here's where I'm coming to my point. It helps my communication because I'm able to communicate with myself. I'm able to communicate so much better with the people around me, especially with people I love that I interact with all the time. I know when I might be a little moody or might be a little bloaty, and first of all, with the bloaty, I'm just like, okay, here comes the 10 pounds, and welcome it, and knowing that it's part of a cycle. And the moody, knowing when to apologize, sometimes even apologizing to my family and my kids in advance. Sorry, I'm a little moody. I might be a little moody, and dialing back my activities because of my cycle, varying my workout because of my cycle, not being so hard on myself that, hey, I don't want to go hard or go home today. These few days, I'm coming to mobility. I'm coming to muscle release. I'm coming to more Pilates and less steel maze, and just maybe more meditation, maybe hearing my inner voice, just finally finding a way to dial down. So being able to communicate with myself and knowing myself better and understanding my cycle as part of a bigger womanhood, right? I belong to a sisterhood, and we share this cycle that's governed by our physiology. Knowing I'm part of something bigger gives me compassion for myself, without which I cannot have compassion for other people without self-compassion. And it has improved my communication with the outer world because I pay attention to communicating with my inner world. So I started thinking about this live, wanting to talk about the phases of the menstrual cycle, and how to arrange one's varying nutrition needs or varying workout schedule according to that, because it's really been beneficial to me since I started understanding it. But there's a lot of people on the internet that are experts on it, so I want to leave that to them and save my stuff for the people I coach. And you can certainly feel free to hit me up anytime, and if you're interested in having a chat about it, be happy to chat with you about it. But the nice segue from thinking about this cycle and tracking, the whole idea of tracking, into a couple days ago when the full moon started going into full moon in Capricorn, and I started a cleaning frenzy. And I'm like, you know what? By now, I really should know where the moon is because my behavior reflects it. Went into a cleaning frenzy. It was a really good one this time. I mean, there are ones that are like frustrating because you feel like you should do this, and there are ones that you just in a creative mood to make pretty, just to make pretty. It's not like, oh, I should have picked that up, or I should have done this, and I should have put this away, and beating yourself up, right? There's that kind of cleaning. And then there's the cleaning where it's like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to move this around, and just want to make pretty. So this time around, it was just a make pretty, moon in Capricorn. That's my cleaning phase, intense cleaning phase. And this was the full moon, and I got an Instagram notification that my friend Yuda was doing a full moon circle, and usually my focus is on new moon circles and new moon writing down my goals. So I'm like, okay, full moon circle. I hit her up. I ask her, hey, what's the difference between the full moon and the new moon? Because I'm familiar with the new moon, but not really with the full moon. She told me it's about releasing. So we went into that circle, and magic, of course, happened with Miss Yuda. And I want to come on here and share with you the releases, the full moon releases that came my way, and see if it resonates with you. We did some full moon releases with some prompts from Yuda, and then we did some affirmations. So we don't leave anything in a vacuum. And yeah, so here goes. So Capricorn is, it rules the 10th house, which is the house of career, outward expression, achievement, and recognition. And I'm just reading off to you from Body Talk Life Cycle Summary Chart. I love seeing things in seasons and cycles anymore, because I find a lot of comfort in knowing that I'm part of a big macrocosm, and there's this bigger container. I love containers. It grounds me. So knowing that I'm part of this bigger cycle, or like, my menstrual cycle, knowing that I'm part of it, I'm a player in it, and there's something bigger than me that's driving, that's at the driver's seat. And looking at the Chinese 5 elements, seeing things in cycles, seeing things in seasons, and looking at the houses, and also seeing these patterns. It makes me feel very comforted. Maybe at the where I am in life right now, that I don't have to be in charge, that I'm part of a bigger whole, and all I got to do is understand it and play along with it. And it teaches me about me, and then about the world, and about life at large. So anyhow, I digressed, of course. Capricorn, it's about the element, the vibes of orderly, ambitious, and stable. Okay, and it rules the 10th house, and the governing planet is Saturn, which is about responsibility, realistic expectations, organization, wisdom, paternal influence, struggle, and limitation. These are the themes that Saturn revolves around to teach us. And they're all valuable lessons. So our first prompt was my favorite prompt from Yuda last night. The prompt was about the intellect and to talk about how in what way does your intellect beat you up? So I venture to say that in this modern world, we are very head oriented. We're very mind head oriented. And we are on a journey to learn the lesson of listening and starting from our heart, starting knowing our intuition, knowing the power of our intuition, listening to our intuition and where our heart is, and negotiating a happy balance between the intellect and the heart. So in what ways does my intellect beat me up? Let me tell the stories. So the first one I had was I have just three of them. My intellect tells me that I need to be all things to all people. So there's a FOMO going on there. And the second one is my intellect tells me that I have to act out of obligation and pressure rather than acting from a happy place from my heart of choice. And it's like a trained muscle that I have learned to when I take action. Oh my God, it's like the unhappy cleaning. Like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. Why didn't I do this? And the stories that come that are not helpful. The voices, the messages that are not helpful. It's a very bullying, beating up kind of thing. Whose voice is it anyway? Even if it's, it might not be mine, but it certainly has some kind of muscle memory in my mind. And the third one is my intellect telling me to keep up. This is kind of like a new one. My intellect telling me that I have to keep up with extroverted marketing strategies. That's another story that, the whole thing about extroverts and introverts, but for most of my life, I have identified myself as an introverted person, except when I talk about Pilates. That's like everything comes out. So lately I've been on Clubhouse and I love it. And I spend about half an hour to 45 minutes whenever I'm driving. I have my headphones with me so that my baby can listen to the radio and music. Come over here, babe. And he's just waking up. So listening to probably a lot of extroverted speakers on Clubhouse, and there's two ways, right? You can listen to it positively and say, oh, this lands with me. This, as with all things, as with courses and everything, what lands with you, what resonates with you, coming from the heart, and what doesn't, let it go. Just let it go. No judgment. People do things their way. That's fine. I'm here to learn what's useful to me, what resonates to me. And we never learned that, and we didn't learn that in grade school or high school about picking out what resonates, because we were taught to memorize and spit out and perform. We were taught to perform. So that the sermon was not really, definitely was not trained from school. So here are my affirmations, and to replace those bullying statements. Good morning, Booty. Come over here. That's my son waking up. Just to replace the bullying statements from the intellect. The first one is, so those are the releases. Those are the full moon releases, just to backtrack a little bit, releasing the bullying statements from the intellect. Well, the first affirmation is, I trust where I need to be. I trust I am where I need to be. I don't need to be all things to all people. Um, Trusting that the universe has a way of taking care of things that I am not able to be there for other people, for people in my life. I trust I am where I need to be. Oh my gosh, I'm in this full moon circle. Phone says, oh, I did also double scheduled to listen to a clubhouse on a topic that I really want to hear about. But here I am committed to be where I am and just letting that go and trusting I am where I need to be. And asking for guidance also, maybe saying a prayer to please take care of the things that I can't be there for other people. The second affirmation I have is the second release was my intellect telling me I have to act out of obligation and pressure. And the affirmation from that is uh, choosing to act from a heart centered place, acting from choice and um, acting out of seeing an opportunity to play and to choose, an opportunity to choose, to drive my action. Why? Because I deserve to be happy. If I were to go deeper into that, why do you want to act from a heart place? Why do you want to act from choice? Why do you want to act from seeing an opportunity and jumping on it? Because I want to be happy. Because I want to be at peace. Why? Because I deserve to be happy. And because I deserve to be at peace. Every time before I start writing a course, writing an outline, cleaning my house, doing my laundry, doing especially doing tasks that are like obligatory. Switching gears before I move a finger, lift a finger, and coming from a heart-centered place. And the third affirmation that came from releasing my need to keep up with extroverted marketing studies and marketing schemes and strategies is I trust in my magic. I trust in what I bring to the table. I trust in my ways. I trust in my ways of acting intuitively. Um, and again, taking what lands well and releasing, just letting go, no judgment of what doesn't resonate with me. It might work for some people. It doesn't sound right to me. I'm not going to go for that. So that's my little share of my releases and affirmations. And I want to end this live with a card I drew that's, see, it's a beautiful card called Seeing the True You. And this is from the Sacred Rebels deck, the Oracle deck. I'm going to read that to you because, of course, it resonates with exactly what I was telling you about in my full moon releases. So, as far as creativity, as you continue on this journey, you will not only see your human self but the eternal within you. It is an experience that takes great preparation. We must be strong within our own self-love and acceptance to be able to hold acceptance for all of life. So what I refer to in the very beginning of the live, being able to have a communication with yourself, knowing your own cycles, knowing you're part of a bigger whole, allows me to communicate better with more love and with more compassion for the people around me when I have that for myself. This oracle is nudging you into that preparation for when you have the experience of truly beholding yourself. All judgment, fear, and doubt will fall away, and you will just know yourself to be sacred. Bodhi, then you will be asked to embrace the deeper journey of sacred rebellion against judgment and fear, and into passionate creativity and unconditional trust in life. Here's the second message that that resonates with the first release, that I need to be all places to all people everywhere. If you're getting confused about who you are and your motives or actions based on what other people are saying and how they are responding to you, step back. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may be unintentionally taking on the feelings of others, making the reflections of you more than they are in truth. So when you allow yourself to bully yourself, you allow other people to bully you. Only when you stop bullying yourself and stop being harsh on yourself and stop telling yourself untruths, only then will you stop letting other people bully you. Only then will you teach them by your own shining light and by your own shining example that how to treat you, how they should treat you. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector. That's exactly what I just said, than about what is being reflected. Let those external perceptions go. Can you just acknowledge yourself? Do so and be free. So when you feel bullied, step up. Step up and know that the other person is just reflecting what's already going on within yourself. If you feel that you're being bullied and have an issue righting that wrong, know that you have been bullying yourself all along. And that person is just a reflection, a helper, a teacher to let you know what's going on, so that to teach you to be kinder to yourself. So I want to finish this live with this last part. Say with feeling, I now break any contract. If you want to, you can do this with me and do this right now. So I'll do this real slow. You look at this card, it's pretty. I now break any contract I have ever made with another. Take a deep breath in your belly. Consciously or unconsciously, that has given them power over me. Power over my sense of self, the authority to approve or reject me, or anything about me, including my voice, my body, my creativity, my spirituality, and my way of living. Of my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion to see myself through the eyes of unconditional love. So be it. So let's do this again with a breath in between. You want to do it? Or no?
It's going at the side.
I know. Okay, let's do this with a breath and with a deep belly breath so that it really lands with you. So that you don't have to rewind and watch this over. I now break any contract. Breathe. I have ever made with another. Breathe. Consciously or unconsciously, breathe. That has given them power over me. Power over my sense of self. The authority to approve or reject me, or anything about me, including my voice, body, creativity, deep belly breaths, spirituality, and way of living. Of my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion to see myself through the eyes of unconditional love. And so be it.